greatest partners in this city are the relationship we have with Angelo State University, which is only growing. And today is my pleasure to have two wonderful young men, head coach Will Wagner, that we've grown to love and like a lot since he came to town with your wonderful family.
Thank you.
And then he brought a wonderful young man who is a senior, Paul Mason, who is going to talk to us a little bit about an initiative Coach Wagner started, Persuaded Me, and what a blessing that I said yes to you, Coach Wagner, of having your players go to our schools and read, but then you told me you did math.
Yes, ma'am.
Or these young children helped you, maybe?
Yes, ma'am. I went in and I was expecting to read to the kids, and the teacher was like, well, we're doing math today. Do you want to help them? So I was like, yeah, math. I love math. So I go in, and some of the problems, I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't did elementary school math since I was in elementary, So I asked one of the kids to help me out, and they helped me out, draw like a number line and, circle a couple things. But
and that made them feel the greatest in the world to help you. Your idea, Will, was more complicated down than it appears on the surface. It appears you just get young people on a bus and take them to a school, and it's a feel-good situation. But what I've observed over time is how powerful this initiative is. Had you done that before? What prompted you to do this?
Well, this is something that I was a part of when I was at Northwest Missouri State, and it was a little bit different. We had a lab school right there on campus, and so it was a little more convenient for our players to just go over there and read to those kids. And so this was something that I wanted to do because I understand, and when I was a kid, I always looked up to older kids, especially ones that are athletes. When they would come in and wear their jerseys and do some stuff at our elementary schools, and so I know the power of our players, what they have, and the influence that they have over young kids, and so I wanted to find some way to get them out and get them involved in the schools here in San Angelo, and so just went back to what we did at Northwest, and wanted to set up a reading program where we get kids into some schools here in town, and just maybe 30 minutes for our kids to read to them, or maybe the kids to read to our players. And it's been a little difficult here and there, just trying to coordinate their schedules and times that they can leave campus and get to those schools. But our players enjoy doing this; they look forward to it, and like we said, like Paul mentioned, sometimes those kids are teaching our players more than we're teaching them, and so it's a win-win situation for both of us.
Well, the wonderful part of it from our perspective is kids can't have enough wonderful role models. All that's on TV is not what we want our children to aspire. But through these 4 years, I have seen, and our principal attests to this, it's working, and you all go away and get as much from it as our children get from watching you and just being around you. What do you think? What has it done for you, Paul?
For me, it gives me a time to take a step back and reflect on like how far I've come since I was in their position. So I go in there and I look at the kids and I talk to them, and I think like I was once in that position, and I think about how far I've come since I was in that position, and it kind of pushes me to do better and do more things, and I know it kind of gives them hope, like I could be there one day.
Absolutely. So. And you came from Wichita, Texas,
yes,
and a very similar city and school district to ours. And I also believe that when we give back, if we can teach you as a college student while you are very busy to give back, find some way to give back that doesn't cost you money. You don't have extra money. College students don't have extra money, but there's a way you can make a huge impact, and I think it's a life lesson. And what is so neat, Coach Wagner, is that this has not diminished over time. It's as important and as highly valued by our district as when you first started it. So I hope and pray we can continue this. And Paul, you told me that you aspire to perhaps be a nurse.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have one more season with Coach Wagner. Do the kids ask you about playing? What do they ask you?
Well, we get all sorts of types of questions, honestly. How is it to play? Are those guys out there big? Are they physical? Will they hit me hard? And just all types of questions. They also ask us about schoolwork and stuff like that too, occasionally. But if they don't, I bring it up. Schoolwork is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, guys. So you have to make A's now. So when you get here, it'll be easier for you. You have great study habits and stuff like that. So we get all sorts of questions, and you just kind of have to.
Kids are bluntly honest,
and they're unpredictable. So.
And they're unpredictable, which makes it wonderful. Have they ever shocked you?
I've got a few shocks. I was just like, whoa.
Yes.
How do I answer that?
Yes.
So you kind of have to give them don't give them the runaround. You gotta kind of be straightforward with them. Don't lie to them, but don't tell them the whole detail about it, because they're not ready for that yet.
Yes. How did you choose Angelo State?
Well, I was being recruited my senior year, and Coach Gaskin, one of our former coaches, came down there. He talked to me, and he said, "You want to come on a visit?" So I was like, "Yeah." And I come here. I love the facilities, and I love the coach, and I love the family atmosphere that the team brought. So I committed to come here as soon as I came, and ever since then, I was committed, because once I commit to something, I want to finish it. So.
Well, I know your family's incredibly proud of you.
Yes, they are.
It's a good long distance to Wichita Falls, so you don't get to go home very much, do you?
Not too much.
So your team and your classmates are your family, aren't they?
Yes, I consider this as my home now. Like when I go back home, that's my family, but I kind of feel out of place. So when I come back here, I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable again.
What do you like most about Angelo State, besides, in addition to the warm family feeling that's there?
I love the school, actually. I love going to school. I love meeting new people. I love just everyone's friendly here. And as an athletic department, we all have come so close since I first got here. And it's like we are literally a family. And you can say something about a football player to a soccer player, and they're going to stick up for each other,
Yeah.
So I just love that.
Well, I understand that Dr. May knows who you are, which doesn't surprise me at all, and that he is not in a hurry for you to leave Angelo State, and is dangling a carrot for perhaps you to stay after football season when you'll really be finished, and maybe do some things, recruit or work on your master's. That doesn't surprise me at all, because SAISD would love to have someone like you around. Coach Wagner, are there any other benefits that you have heard your players talk about, why they're willing to add this extra that they get no tangible benefit to take time to go to a school and read?
Well, the benefit of them being around young kids and knowing that the influence that they have on others and the role model role that they play, those are the biggest things that our kids see from it. And they have fun with it too. I think it's a time to kind of get away from the stress of school and football and just go hang out with some younger kids and laugh and have a good time. And but they know that the influence that they have on some of these young men and girls, that a lot of people are coming from homes that don't have male influence, and so this is a time for them to be an influence on these young kids, and kind of steer them in the positive direction, and to explain the value of an education and what it can do and the doors it can open for them.
Well, I am thrilled when one of our young people decides to stay and go to Angelo State. And Paul, you are exactly the kind of young person I want our young children to be around. And here, you've got a work ethic.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can't always have your way.
No, you cannot.
And there are rules in life for a reason.
Yes.
And you have to learn to work for a team, work as a team. Those are life lessons. And even if a young person does have a good male role model, they can't have too many.
No.
Your sons will have you and the other coaching staff and people in your church, but sometimes they'll listen to a young person Paul's age when they may go over their head
Right.
if you say it. So I can't thank you enough for, first off, you coming up with the idea, selling me on it, and how successful. My only wish is that you had enough to go to all 17
Right.
of our schools for them to get to be around young men like this, like you are, Paul. What a great seller you are.
I just love to impact people in a positive way, especially children, since they're our future. If you raise them up to be good, and they are our future. Like I'm saying, like they're our future. So they're gonna take our universe and our galaxy to places that we can't. So we have to educate them now and make sure that they're good.
Well, if after Dr. May tells you what he has in mind for you, come and get another offer from SAISD. It is such a gift to have a young person like you around our children. And Will, thank you so much. And we are so proud of what you're doing at ASU. We love having you and your coaches and what you're doing for young people in this city.
Well, thank you.
very
And
much.
we're very privileged to have association with SAISD, and I'm very thankful that you allowed us to get our players into the elementary schools, and so they can make a difference in kids'
I
lives.
haven't had one principal give me one negative about your players coming. Think about how seldom in life we have a program or a process that there aren't some flaws, and this is nothing but positive. And we wish you the very best. And you told me over the phone you're going to have a camp this summer, as are our two coaches, but they are thrilled. They don't feel in competition. As I told you, I feel like ASU is an extension of SAISD. Tell our audience when your camp is.
Well, our camp's going to be June 25th through the 27th, and it's going to be for elementary age kids. And not only will they be getting coached by our coaches, but we'll have players out there as well that will be helping them learn the fundamentals of football, the proper way to make tackles, and we're going to have some games and have a great old time out there. And so we encourage everyone to come out. We're looking at, it cost being around $100, but it's going to be for on those days from 8 to 12. And so it's going to be a fun time, and we look forward to having everyone out there.
There are many instances where a young person goes to a camp, whether it's basketball, choir, debate, band, and they then choose that college to go to college
Right.
because of having a good camp experience. So I think that's wonderful. And we also have camps in our school district. I think if a family can get their kids to multiple camps, it wins. I would bet that even if a family can't afford, you may have some scholarships.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
the case?
Yes, ma'am.
I would bet that's true. And okay, do girls come to your football camp?
Girls are more than welcome. I know Coach H's girl, KK. She's big into football, and so I know she'll be there. We'll have some other young ladies out there, and so we encourage anyone that would want to come out to come on out and let's have a great time.
Yeah, I think that's a neat thing for a young lady to go and try and see. Well, I wish you the best, and I hope y'all win and whoop every team this fall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We hope so too.
Yeah, okay, well, we're going to come and watch.
We're gonna do our best to give you all
There's
a great
no
show.
doubt in my mind. What position do you play?
Cornerback.
Okay.
So I'll be out there on defense trying to stop their receivers. Well, not trying to, stopping their receivers.
Excellent. I believe you can do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.